So the NEET paper leak has sent shockwaves across the entire country. More than 22 lakh students have been affected. And this is one of the most competitive exams in India. Often students ask, and I've seen this question on social media as well, that is there a recourse in law? How do you see this issue?
This is actually a shocking thing which has happened in this country. It's a huge lapse as far as the credibility of the whole process is concerned. And this is one exam, I think, where the maximum participation happens in the country. And these are students for taking this exam, go to, all these coaching classes. Their parents, spend their hard-earned money. Some people sell their land to send their children to these coaching classes in the hope that this child will go through a regular, genuine, competitive process and make her or his name and get into a medical college. Now, after this leak that has happened and the revelation that has happened thereafter, the credibility of the entire exam process is in doubt. For the same preparation now, these very students will have to firstly spend more money to go back to coaching classes, to refresh themselves, and then take the exam. What guarantee is it that next time it will not happen? And the people who are involved in this racket and who've been arrested, the question setters, who will do a background check of the question setters this time and ensure that this is not going to happen. And the real irony is that people who can afford to pay for these papers, which are being sold in the open market, are the ones who can afford to pay the high fees also. And the children who can't pay for these papers, obviously, and who are coming from those very, very poor families who use their hard-earned money to sit for this exam, they are the ones who are actually trying to get the free seats, which is the government seats, which the only highly meritorious in the examination get. It's work double loss for them. So even if they, supposing, are relegated to a lower position in the merit list by virtue of people who have deep pockets are able to buy the question paper and get high position in the merit list, the ones who get high position get automatically compensated for the money that they spend for buying this paper, because they save that kind of money in the tuition fees. And the children who can't afford to pay that money are the ones who lose the free seat by virtue of people with, who have taken these papers and have scored the high marks, relegate them to a lower position, and they are forced to pay for the paid seats. So it's very, very depressing. I think it's a national matter of national shame, and I don't see how in the short run appropriate corrective action can be done. But I'm sure the government should think of this very seriously and either abolish the exam completely, like Tamil Nadu is saying, and go simpliciter by the result of the higher secondary or the +2 examination. But if you don't do that, then you have to instill sufficient credibility, sufficient checks in the process to ensure that this kind of a thing never happens again. And such people who are involved in this activity, the government actually should make a law and make this make it such a stringent penalty for such kind of crimes that nobody would ever or should ever think of doing this kind of a thing with the meritorious students of this country. So I think multi-pronged action is required, and government will do well to take sufficient measures to bring in a law to make this a serious offence, to ensure that the process is completely credible, and ensure that there is no leakage ever in such kind of examinations. And when I say such kind of examination, this is not only this. We hear this on a daily basis with regard to recruitment exams. We hear this even with regard to other competitive exams being held in the country. So this has become one of the methods of becoming rich overnight, by trying to get the question paper and start selling them in the market. And unfortunately, there is a very well oiled network through which these people operate, because of which they are able to access the gullible persons to pay up money and give them the question papers and benefit immensely in the process.